But someone was fired from Star Wars. I don't know if you heard this again.
I did hear that, yeah.
Yeah, so Damon Lynch.
But for real this time. Wait. Oh, I was thinking about Kathleen Kennedy who keeps getting fake fired.
I think she will leave soon.
Okay.
But no, not yet.
If I were Kathleen Kennedy, I would leave on my own after however 10 years, 15
Plus,
years.
11 years.
Millions of just untold millions of dollars in like salary and bonuses and what have you. Just as a little treat for the fans, I would do a press conference and I'd be all teary and I'd be like, I've been fired. I've been fired from Star Wars. I did too many feminisms and they fired me. Kevin Feige's going to take over. With Dave Filoni. Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau, they're doing all the stuff you want. I made all the stuff you didn't like. They'd be like, just kidding, suck it, nerds. Or maybe I'd leave it. Maybe I'd just be like, I'm so sad I got fired. And then just leave the nerd, give the nerds a win, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. They've been putting in the work.
I think so.
Yeah. Anyway, someone was fired because this always happens.
Uh-huh.
This is a disaster, though. The amount of people that they are churning through.
Yeah.
What's this, like 12 properties now, maybe? So Damon Lindelof, who
Lost Damon Lindelof.
lost new Watchmen series, the one of the Leftovers, all of that. He was writing a Star Wars movie, but he's been replaced, and with Stephen Knight, who was one of the writers and workers on of Peaky Blinders, a show that I have never seen.
I've seen some of it.
Great. And
Good, right?
I don't know.
Good.
Is it?
That was all right.
I heard it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cillian Murphy.
He's in it.
Others.
Others are in it.
It's the only person I know.
Yeah.
I always see him with his little flat cap.
That's his Peaky.
Oh. Where's his blinders?
That's a little razor you keep in the hat.
Wow. Does he do it?
Not when I was watching it.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, someone else was fired.
Go on.
This
isn't Stephen Esther Knight, who's a different guy.
That's a different Stephen
It's a different
Knight.
guy. That's what I thought.
Yeah, because it's a different name and man.
Yeah.
But I could see how you'd make that comparison.
He's in Hollywood. I know that
He's in
much.
Hollywood. That's all you need to know. Someone else was fired from Marvel. So Marvel studio president of physical and post-production, VFX and animation production, Victoria Alonso. Now, she's been at Marvel since 2006 and has overseen all of those things. VFX being one of the bigger ones, especially of late, because they've got 120 properties a year. Well, they did until recently.
And they're churning through that. Like, speaking of churning, they're churning through all those VFX companies, just being like, do it faster, do it quicker, do it cheaper. And they're like,
make it look worse.
Make it look worse. And they're like, we're trying, we're making it as bad as we can. And they're like, well, it could be worse, so you're fired and we'll move on to the next.
Less time. Put less time into this.
That's right.
So, yeah, she's been at Marvel since Iron Man. Since 2006, and obviously came over with, she was part of the Disney acquisition and all of that, which happened in 2010, I want to say. I can't remember. But anyway, there's a number of rumors regards to what happened here. And there was one that was saying she was a tyrant with VFX companies and she played favorites, and if she didn't like you, she was out and you were out and whatever. If she didn't like you, she was out. She was like, I'm going to remove myself from this situation.
Terrific.
But there's other people saying, no, that's not actually true, and she's kind of being used as a scapegoat for by higher-ups at Disney and Marvel.
I mean, we know from Reddit, the most reputable source on the internet.
We know Reddit.
And various other sources that, yes, the VFX situation at Marvel has been very bad. So I guess the question is it a case of like the fish rots from the head and she's been, she's like, keep it quicker and worse and what have you, and all her underlings have been, telling people, cracking the whip and telling everybody to do that? Or is it a case of Feige's like, well, the secret's out that, all the VFX companies are being treated poorly. We've got to get rid of somebody. And then we say, well, we found out and we made a call and now everything's going to be great again.
Well, that apparently wasn't it. And also, like, if she's working with VFX, she's not greenlighting everything.
That's true.
So her role is to make sure it gets done.
That's
like
true.
She didn't say, I want 120 hours of Marvel this year or whatever.
Right.
I assume. Yeah. Anyway, Kevin Feige.
I'm a true fan, she says.
Yes, that's
I want
right.
what the fans want.
Kevin Feige apparently, wasn't involved in any of this.
Nice.
Apparently.
Nice.
The Deadline have said that this is actually a result of a breach of contract because she has an exclusive. Her work is supposed to be exclusive.
Oh, and she was
with
working
Marvel.
on something else.
It's called Argentina 1985, and she was allowed as part of her contract to work on it, but not to promote it. And apparently, she did a few interviews.
Right.
And because also apparently she's took a hard stance against Disney not really saying much on Florida's Don't Say Gay bill. That maybe had something to do with it because apparently that film deals with a lot of those kind of issues. And so she felt very passionately about it. This is in her statement in regards to termination and how it's unlawful and there's talk of maybe suing and whatever. And Disney came out and said, well, that's not the full story, but we wish her all the best and thanks for all your work, etc. So it's a mess.
It seems like a mess.
So there you go. That's something that happened.
And it's a mess and we've untangled it.
Thank God. It's good, isn't it?
Yep. Just a couple of boys 3,000 miles away.
Just getting it done.
Just getting it done, sorting it out. It's very clear now. All the answers have been revealed.
Yep.
You can all sleep at night now.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, and VFX. Don't worry, folks. Marvel movies are going to be darker than ever, like physically darker. You won't be able to see a goddamn thing. That's what we want, right?
That's what.
Because then you can imagine whatever you want.
Well, let's talk about a dark Marvel property, Mason.
Ooh.
This is via the Hot Mic podcast.
Oh, yeah.
This is with Jeff Snyder.
It's me, I'm Hot Mike.
What do you think of these abs?
Oh, no, he's physically hot, I thought.
Oh, it's like
he's running a temperature. He's got one of those.
I've got a fever.
He's got a thermometer in his mouth and he's got one of those big bags of ice on his head and he's always like, oh, I've got the best Hollywood news. Oh, but I can't get out of bed. Oh.
Anyway, so this is Jeff Snyder and John Roca.
And what's Hot Mike have to say?
Hot Mike says they cut Kit Harington's Eternals character out of Blade pretty much.
Oh, entirely?
Maybe not entirely.
So there was no point for me to watch Eternals at all?
Wow, you know, you had fun.
No, I didn't.
But you saw it.
That's undeniable, yes. That is true.
So
you've got me. You've trapped me in an impenetrable web of logic there.
Black Knight's not really involved in the Blade thing anymore. Apparently
disappointing.
The script is leaner and meaner, and they just cut a bunch of the fat. But apparently it's quite a short film at the moment. Like the screenplay is like 90 minutes or whatever, which is fine with me.
Okay.
Because sometimes 90 minutes is better than longer minutes sometimes.
So true.
Usually, but not always. We'll talk about one bit later, Mason.
Oh.
Another bit of news.
Okay.
This is also via Jeff Snyder. This is in regards to the Indiana Jones spin-off series that was happening. It's being shelved.
Okay.
It was going to be a prequel.
Is Phoebe Waller-Bridge involved somehow?
No.
Oh, no, it's the guy. It's the guy.
Abner Ravenwood.
It's the guy. Okay, right. It's
the
that
guy who tutored and mentored Indiana Jones.
Yeah, right. And probably has a hat.
No doubt he has a hat.
Yeah, because the men of that era would have a hat.
A hat with a little propeller on it.
Oh, you think so?
That's what men with the era.
Because he's on the Geek Squad or whatever?
Yeah, he's one of the little rascals.
Well, he goes to all the ancient temples and he fixes all their traps.
Oh, that's cool.
They call him out and they're like, oh, the poison dart machine isn't working. Can you? He's like, have you tried turning it off and on again? Just step on the thing a bunch of just click, and it'll work.
5 clicks and then it'll be
5
fine.
clicks, it should be fine.
Yeah. So it's going to be a prequel to 1981's Raiders of the Lost Ark, because Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Mm-hmm, go on.
Well, that's not the first Indiana Jones movie anyway, chronologically. Mm-hmm. The first movie is Temple of Doom. I'm just saying, Mason.
So this is also a prequel to Temple of Doom.
Exactly.
Wow.
And it focuses on Indy's unseen mentor, Abner Ravenwood. I guess that's Marianne's father?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, there we go. An Egyptologist and archaeologist who is dead by the time of the first film's events in 1936.
Wow.
So apparently this is a result.
And he's useless.
Yeah.
He's like, this week I'm gonna find the Ark of the Covenant. Oh, I can't find it.
I didn't.
Hope somebody does.
Someone's not. I'd love to see that. But
This
I
week,
probably
Holy
won't.
Grail. Oh, I hope someone. Oh, bloody
Grail.
hell. Jeez, this is tough, actually.
Man.
I'm just down the pub.
I should call it the Holy Snail because it's bloody taken me so long to find this thing. I don't think I will, actually. Just call me the Holy Snail. I'm going to the pub. He's really good at improv, just like me.
Oh, wow, that's really good.
Yeah. His feet. Yeah. Apparently, this is because they want to focus more on Star Wars, which is not a surprise. And this is also off the back of apparently Willow not being well received or didn't rate well, and probably cancelled maybe. Though maybe not. Like some of the people involved are like, well, we've been let go from our contracts, but it doesn't mean it's all over and whatever. I'm going to say something about the show Willow. As someone who doesn't give a fuck about Willow and never has, I recently rewatched it to watch the series, and I'm like, it was fun. But I watched the series. I thought it was pretty good.
Right.
And as someone, it was like a whimsical kind of kid-friendly-ish fantasy world, and I liked the new characters.
And that's on Netflix.
Disney Plus.
Disney Plus. Can you also get did you also watch?
I watched original Willow
on Disney Plus.
Yes.
Okay, great.
And I honestly, also bearing in mind, zero expectation. Do not care about Willow, but I liked most, if not all, of the new characters from memory. And when it ended, I went, I'd see more Willow, but now I can't. Anyways, maybe this is also because they realized that they could do something with Short Round.
Oh,
And they went,
maybe,
hang on a
sure,
minute,
yeah, okay,
hang on,
right.
Don't we have someone who's not 1,000 years old from an Indiana Jones movie we could put in?
Yeah.
A beloved actor. But who?
And doesn't this mean we can set it close to contemporary times and we can spend less on costuming and...
Well, let me think. Temple of Doom was what, 35?
Yeah.
And Short Round,
that's a good
Short
point.
Round was 10.
The 60s?
Yeah, so 60s, 70s. I guess you could set it whenever the newer one is, whenever that is.
Yeah. Or you could have him fall into a time portal and re-emerge in the 90s.
Wow.
Yeah, that's right.
That's when the Indiana Jones Chronicles took place with the young Indiana Jones.
Precisely.
With
He could
Sean
watch
Patrick
it on the
Flannery.
television.
Yeah. Go, well, I don't remember any of
That's
this.
cheap.
That is cheap.
Hey, it's me, Short Round, and let's all watch the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles.
Would you like an Indiana Jones movie set in the 90s? I mean, you couldn't really, because they'd all be dead by then, presumably.
Yeah, because Indy could wear his inline skates.
He could.
Yeah. Because there'll be one where he'd be like, "You'll never get me on those rollerblades." Cut 2, he's on the rollerblades. He's being chased by Nazis. He's on the rollerblades.
I love that.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
You'll never get me in a hypercolor T-shirt. Well, I think you'll change your mind. You've been swimming through the sewers of Venice. What are you gonna? You got to put on a fresh hypercolor T-shirt, Indy.
Absolutely, yeah.
No, Jonathan Rhys Davies. I won't wear a slap band of friendship with you.
He's alive too?
Yep.
Well, he's in Sliders.
Yeah.
That was in the 90s, yeah.